In one of his longest essays yesterday, one of the things that he did ask, it was yesterday, yes, one of the things that he asked the retired General Chiwenga, he asked him to resign from politics, saying that what he has been standing for in ZANU-PF and what he has, in fact, he said he has suffered a trail of losses within the ZANU-PF structures. If he actually is convinced that ZANU-PF is moving in the wrong direction, why does he not consider resigning? Now, if we are to borrow from the words of Blessed Geza, that Temba Mliswa was bought by Emerson Mnangagwa to actually aim at retired General Chiwenga and taint his image. If that is the truth, if that is the fact, then it's quite clear that what Temba Mliswa is saying could potentially be what Emerson Mnangagwa is planning to do. Is Mnangagwa planning to fire retired General Chiwenga? Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So Temba Mliswa yesterday noting that retired General Chiwenga has recorded a trail of losses, saying it began with the Taguirey Central Committee blockade. He was not successful. Taguirey ended up joining the Central Committee. He went on to say Opet Mpofu firing was actually presumed to be his allies. He says Mutare People's Conference. He also goes on to say also army reshuffles that were done by Emerson Mnangagwa. I think Temba Mliswa is clearly indicating that the reshuffles that were done within the military, something that ZANU-PF supporters of Mnangagwa have denied, was actually aimed at thwarting the power of retired General Chiwenga. Temba Mliswa, being a paid troll by Emerson Mnangagwa, may actually be speaking the mind of Mnangagwa. And I'm sure that whatever he writes on his social media pages, he is definitely asked by or told or given by the bedroom of Emerson Mnangagwa to do so. He says Geza demo flops down to the recent cabinet Hela King should be a statement enough for him that he lacks support. So he goes on to say his inability to rally backing during the General Conference, Central Committee, Politburo, or Cabinet illustrates a bleak reality. He goes on to say, where then lies the internal support necessary to propel his political aspirations? Even in Mashonaland East, he struggles to garner the support foundational backing. He goes on to say, one does not ascend to political hierarchy reliant upon external allies from a faction from Philistine, the opposition, when one's kin within the Israel, ZANU-PF failed to acknowledge him. I think I did explain that yesterday. The bill is, he goes on to explain how far the bill has gone and actually advises retired General Chiwenga that he should actually consider stepping aside. He says this presents a perilous predicament for Vice President Chiwenga, who after persistent interjections faced admonition from the president, compelling him to adhere to protocol and to apologize. So he was actually wreaking havoc on retired General Chiwenga. So in my view, Temba Mliswa, being a paid troll from Emerson Mnangagwa, writing this nonsense on his wall, does this mean that this nonsense he has been given by Emerson Mnangagwa Is the answer yes or no? There is high probability, in my view, it has been given by Mnangagwa. Whatever Temba Mliswa is doing, he is not doing it at his own accord. Remember, what Temba Mliswa does, he knows that he is taking a risk, especially at this point in time where things could go either way. Is Mnangagwa considering firing retired General Chiwenga? Now, what kind of a person do you want to disassociate yourself with? You disassociate yourself with someone who is giving you a problem. Mnangagwa could have potentially taken care of Blessed Geza, because Blessed Geza was supporting Chiwenga. He was actually giving life to the campaign of retired General Chiwenga. Everything that he did, he didn't shy away from the fact that he was supporting Chiwenga. He wanted Chiwenga to take over from Emmerson Mnangagwa. He mentioned that all the times. That is why I have said, based on that, there is a linkage between Chiwenga and Blessed Geza. You cannot say Chiwenga did not own Blessed Geza. Chiwenga was not owned by the war veterans. You would be lying. What Chiwenga was not representing the military. You cannot say that. These institutions, as well as Blessed Geza, they were working hand in glove. Well, someone would say, why then now that Blessed Geza is dead, are appearing to be isolating him? I don't think they are isolating him. If you look even at the funeral of Blessed Geza, it is well organized. Did you hear Blessed Geza asking for funds? Family asking for funds to actually transport Blessed Geza from South Africa to here. A Zimbabwean company Heratso to go and fetch Blessed Geza in South Africa. The cost associated with that, how much? And do you think that the family raised those funds alone? I'm not undermining them. Blessed Geza was also a business person, but we know that when he decided to take a stand against Mnangagwa, Mnangagwa went after each and everything that Blessed Geza had, including even his home. It was burnt down. I wonder where people actually gathered it. Maybe they are going to pitch tents, or they have actually renovated the houses. But the truth is that the houses were burnt down. Is Mnangagwa now planning to fire Chiwenga, having said all these things? There is in all honesty, Mnangagwa sees Chiwenga as the biggest threat in ZANU-PF, and equally so, Chiwenga understands. He sleeps also all his eyes open. Even when he goes to those meetings, and put a hedge of protection in himself. He cannot eat food that is delivered by him, by Emmerson Mnangagwa. He cannot even trust the water that can be given by Mnangagwa, because any miscalculations he may take to do so, it may cost his life. Remember, he was poisoned before he learned it hard that Emmerson Mnangagwa is a man that cannot be trusted. These days, even meetings, they do them. When today he was welcoming Emmerson Mnangagwa, he had to have with Mnangagwa, and Mnangagwa seems not interested. When he was actually having those conversations, it's a clear indication that they do not communicate as brothers. They do not have, Mnangagwa does not have time for retired General Chiwenga. Is isolating him. He only gets to see Mnangagwa during the meetings of ZANU-PF, and most of the time they don't agree in those meetings. They are always fighting. For example, Mnangagwa wants to mutilate the constitution. Chiwenga has made it known to Mnangagwa that he is against it. It is reversing the gains of what they fought for during the liberation struggle. Though Mnangagwa may have actually threatened him by saying he is the president, he is in charge, he must, according to Temba Mliswa, apologize and they follow the protocol. But I mean, how many times has retired General Chiwenga been at loggerheads with Mnangagwa? Mnangagwa issuing threats, but still standing firm on saying the constitution should be protected at all costs. So there are considerations of Mnangagwa firing retired General Chiwenga, but he understands the cost that may be accompanied with such a decision, the retaliation that may be accompanied by such a decision. But I must undertake that such is being considered and has been considered for the longest period of time. Mnangagwa learned it from the time Mugabe fired him, the consequences of doing so. Of course, he has reshuffled the military, but will that guarantees his safety, especially when he take drastic measures against retired General Chiwenga? I'm sure as much as he is doing those reshuffles, but he is not yet guaranteed that a retaliation cannot come from retired General Chiwenga or veterans, as well as some members of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Okancuku Mhlabane is signing off. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of